Hello DIYers, today we're doing an oil change on a 2017 Chrysler 300 with unfortunately the Pentastar 3.6 liter V6 engine. But credit where credit is due. My friend Charles put a lot of love into his car, including this custom blue and gold wrap and these awesome headlights. If you're just looking for a reference, all of that information will be on the screen, but let's get started with this oil change. Underneath the car, the drain bolt is located here, and on top of the car, the oil cap is located here along with the oil specifications. We'll also loosen the cap to help the oil flow faster. Then, back at the bottom, we'll remove the drain bolt. Charles's 300 didn't have a skid plate underneath, but yours might. The drain bolt requires a 13mm socket, which totally makes sense considering how small this engine is. And once we break that tiny drain bolt loose, we'll go ahead and spin the rest off by hand. And while we're waiting for the oil money shot, I hope you'll take a moment to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and clean off that drain bolt. And jokes aside, it's a perfectly reasonable drain bolt for this car. Once it's finished draining, we'll put the drain bolt back on. The torque spec for the drain bolt is 20 foot-pounds. Charles, of course, being a professional, did not need to use a torque wrench and just use his finely tuned wrist and elbows. But he did clean everything up and make it nice and tidy. And now that we're done there, back up top, the location of the oil filter housing is located here. Just keep in mind that your 300 probably has an engine beauty cover instead of this customized dirty look. The oil filter housing requires a 24mm socket in order to remove it. If you don't have a 24mm socket, I'm not sure if I would recommend anything else just because the housing is plastic. It's probably safer just to invest in a 24mm socket if there isn't one in your kit. Today we're using an aftermarket oil filter cartridge from STP. All parts and specifications will be in the description below if you don't catch it on screen now. And as we open up the box, you'll see that it comes with both a cartridge and an O-ring. Every kit, whether it's aftermarket or OEM, should come with both those things. And best practice, like Charles is doing here, we'll just compare the two cartridges, the old and the new, just to make sure that they're the same size before we install it. First, we'll replace the O-ring. You might need a flathead screwdriver or pick, but we were able to just get it with our hands here. Then we'll put the O-new ring back on. And just be mindful on where the O-ring sits in the groove. You can see where it is here in the shot. The O-ring also needs a little bit of oil, and as you can see, the oil on Charles's gloves is enough for it. Then we'll slide the new cartridge into place. It only fits one way, and you'll hear it click. And as you may have noticed, the oil filter housing does sit upside down, so we can't pre-fill the cartridge with oil. It would just spill right out. Now we can screw the housing back into place. You'll notice on the top of the housing itself, it actually tells you the torque specifications. It says 25 Newton meters, which is about 19 foot-pounds. If you don't have a torque wrench, I would just recommend that you get the housing on fully where the O-ring isn't showing anymore, and then don't tighten any more than that because the housing is plastic. And if you want, before you remove the housing, you can put a little mark on it like you can see here, which is all Charles is doing, is just lining up the marks again. With the oil drained and the new filter on, we can now move on to putting in the oil. As noted on the oil cap, the oil specifications is a 5W20 weight. We're mixing and matching oils here, which I'm not sure I would recommend, but at least both of these would work well with the car. I'll have some more options in the description below as well. The V6 in this 300 requires 5.9 quarts of oil. So first, we're going to fill it with 5 quarts. Then we're going to start the car and make sure that the oil gets primed into the filter. We'll check the oil level just to make sure we're on the right track, and then we'll fill the rest of the oil in, about 0.9 quarts. And lastly, we'll check the dipstick one final time. We're about 3/4 of the way up between the min and the max line. We did stop here, but you can probably add a little bit more. And that's it. I hope you like this oil change guide for a 2017 Chrysler 300 with the Pentastar 3.6 liter V6. All kidding aside, my friend Charles is a really great mechanic and car enthusiast. He put a lot of effort into customizing this car with a sound system and a wrap. All the interior's done. If you guys are interested in the car and want to see more of a walkthrough video, let me know in the comments below. And again, I hope you'll take a moment to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really does help out the channel. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Alan, and this is Metaloop.